Welcome to the Virginia Tech Intramural Sports Battleship Preseason presentation. We are excited that you are part of our Intramural Sports program, and we look forward to working with you and your team this year. In this presentation, we will review general intramural sports policies, procedures, important sports rules, captain's responsibilities, sportsmanship, and more. As a team captain, it is your responsibility to share all of the information presented in this video with your teammates. Feel free to send them the link to this presentation to view on their own time. We would like to thank Fox Ridge Apartment Homes for sponsoring this year's Captain's presentations and for the coveted Intramural Sports Championship t-shirts that all team sports winners receive. As a team captain for your intramural sports team, it is important that you understand your role on your team and within the intramural sports program. You are responsible for recruitment and organization of your team. Make sure all team members are eligible to play, are notified of the sports rules, intramural sports policies and procedures, any communication and information coming from the intramural sports office, and when and where your team is scheduled to play. All information can be found on the intramural sports website and within the Fusion IM portal. Having all teammates' cell numbers and emails will help you to be able to better communicate with them in a timely fashion and provide updates for everyone. As a team captain, you are responsible for being familiar with all intramural sports game rules, policies, and procedures, as well as representing your team when discussing rule interpretations and player eligibility with intramural staff. More information regarding captain's responsibilities can be found in the Intramural Sports Policy Manual located on the Intramural Sports website. Battleship is played with 3 players starting a game. A minimum number of players required to play is 2. In a co-rec game, there is a minimum of 1 male and 1 female player required. The co-rec maximum amount of players is plus or 1 female to male ratio. All players must have an intramural sports full membership and be added to the team roster, as well as checked in with the intramural sports staff by showing their hockey passport in order to play. Please show up early to start your game on time. If one team is present at the start of the game and the opponent does not have the minimum number of players required to play, a 10-minute grace period will be called at the start of the game. During that time, the team has 10 minutes to get all of their players checked in and ready to start the game. After the grace period ends, a team without the required number of players will forfeit the game. In the case of both teams not having the minimum number of players required to start the game, a double forfeit is called. Teams that forfeit may be removed from the Intramural Sports League and may be replaced with a team from the waiting list if the team does not pay the reinstatement fee of $20 on the Fusion IM portal within 2 days after that forfeit. Always show up for your games unless you are contacted by the Intramural Sports office. If your team knows that you will not have enough players to play in a game, you can log into the Fusion IM system, click on the game in your schedule that you wish to forfeit, and click on the forfeit button. This will notify our Intramural Sports office and your opponent that the game will not be played. We greatly appreciate you using this feature as early as possible to notify us of any forfeits for your team. Now let's talk about some sports-specific Battleship rules. All Battleship contests are played between teams of 3, with the minimum number of players to start the game being 2. In co-rec competition, teams may play with 1 person of each gender, or 2 of one gender and 1 of the other, but a team may not have more than a +1 ratio at any point in time. Teams may have more than 3 people on the roster, but substitutions may only be made between rounds. The object of Battleship is to be the last boat afloat at the end of each round. A Battleship contest is made up of one 45-minute session, or battle. During each battle, teams play as many rounds as possible. Points are awarded to teams based on how they finish during each round. For example, the team floating at the end of the round earns the most points. The team that sunk last earns the second most points, and so on. At the end of each battle, the points earned by each team for all of the rounds are totaled to create an overall standing for the battle. Teams are then awarded points based on the final ranking from the battle. After all teams in each division have played in 2 battles, the top teams based on points from the final standings will advance to the championship contest. The tiebreaker rules can be found in the information sheet posted online. To begin a round of Battleship, all teams will line up around the perimeter of the pool. At the sound of the official's whistle, teams may begin moving around the pool. Keep in mind that players must remain seated or kneeling during all times while inside the boat. During a battle, each boat will be provided 2 large buckets and 2 shields, which are actually frisbees. Participants may use the buckets or the shields, as well as their hands, to throw water at opponents, block water thrown by their opponents, or paddle around the pool to move. Certain rules have been created to ensure a safe and fair playing environment. To keep the game exciting, teams are not allowed to stall. If a team is thought to be stalling, they will be directed to move toward another boat. Also, teams may not bail water out from their boat at any point in time or use any wall or structure around the pool to aid in movement of their boat. Other minor fouls include touching an opponent's bucket, shield, or their boat, standing in the boat, and ramming another boat. If a player drops a bucket or shield into the water, their opponent may not touch that item. Finally, if at any point a whistle sounds by the official, all participants must immediately stop playing. The penalty for a team that commits a minor foul is to add 1 large bucket of water to their boat. In addition to the minor fouls, major fouls include, but are not limited to, the following actions: misconduct or verbal abuse, disrespecting an official, attempting to pirate another boat, ahoy matey, jumping or falling out of the boat while the boat remains afloat, or any other unsporting act. Teams that commit a major foul will be directed to the edge of the pool, where 1 extra large bucket of water will be added to their boat. A team is eliminated when a boat is sunk as a result of the actions of a teammate or opponent. A boat is considered sunk when the sidewalls of the boat are completely underwater. If at any point during the course of play 0 players remain in a team's boat, that boat will be eliminated. If a player falls out of the boat or jumps out of the boat, he or she will be eliminated and directed to swim to the edge of the pool. When a team is eliminated, all team members must move to the edge of the pool. We understand that many intramural participants are competitive, but it is the responsibility of every participant to stay within the rules of the game and maintain proper sporting behavior. Any issues with sportsmanship will be dealt with by the supervisor on duty. Please note the supervisor on duty reserves the right to impose disciplinary action on players, teams, or fans if warranted. All league schedules, rosters, game results, and league information are posted on the Fusion IM portal and Intramural Sports website. Log in to see your team and league information. We may contact teams to fill in spots if there are teams that are dropped from the league, so please check your email regularly and respond as quickly as possible. These extra games might be on top of what your team is originally scheduled for, so please still up for your originally scheduled games and participate in any extra games that you might be interested in. This next section will focus on team rosters. Players may be added to the roster online on Fusion IM before or when they check in for a game. There is no time limit to set your team roster, so players can be added the entire season, including during playoffs. Many times there are free agents available to play, and captains can find them on Fusion IM and invite those players to join their team at any time during the season. The Intramural Sports full membership must be purchased prior to registering a player to the team roster. Players may only play on 1 men's or women's team and 1 co-rec team. Players are locked on the team roster 3 weeks after the season begins, and players may not be removed to be added to another team after that 3rd week of games. It is the mission of the Intramural Sports Program under the Department of Recreational Sports at Virginia Tech to provide a wide range of individual and team activities at both a competitive and recreational level to students, faculty, staff, and other members of the university community. Our purpose is to provide exercise, recreation, and fun to our participants in a relaxed, yet structured environment. Intramural sports are a crucial element of the student life experience because they promote and reinforce teamwork and personal accomplishment, mutual respect and integrity, competition and recreation, as well as skill and exercise. Everyone is encouraged to play to the best of their abilities. However, a win-at-all-cost attitude is inappropriate and strongly discouraged. The genuine value of intramural sports comes from the opportunity to participate, not from winning. Sportsmanship involves respect for all participants, officials, scorekeepers, intramural sports supervisors, and fans. To encourage sportsmanship for all intramural sports activities, a team sportsmanship rating has been developed to encourage proper sporting behavior during all intramural contests. The rating is based on a 5-point scale, and all teams must meet the minimum average sportsmanship rating of a 3.0 to be eligible for the playoffs. All Battleship games are played in the McComas Hall pool. There are no team uniform requirements, however, all participants must wear a swimsuit. Jewelry must also be removed prior to playing, with the exception of medical alert items or religious jewelry that both must be pre-approved prior to participation in the Intramural Sports Office. Mark your calendar for the following Battleship important dates. The regular season begins the week of Monday, October 30th, with the regular season ending Thursday, November 16th. The playoff brackets will be posted Saturday, November 18th, and playoffs will begin November 27th. The championship night presented by Fox Ridge Apartment Homes will be Thursday, November 30th. Game status as it relates to weather and playing conditions is determined by 4 o'clock p.m. daily by the intramural sports staff. If games are canceled prior to 4 o'clock p.m., the intramural sports staff will notify team captains. After 4 o'clock p.m., game status is determined hourly. For the most current game status, participants are encouraged to follow the Intramural Sports Twitter and Facebook page. Twitter is at VT Intramurals. Our Facebook page is Virginia Tech Intramural Sports. Our website is recsports.bt.edu/intramurals. You may also call our weather hotline at 540-231-6060. Unless circumstances permit, games canceled during regular season play are not rescheduled. If games are rescheduled, team captains will be notified and the game changes will be visible in the My Team section of your Fusion IM portal. All playoff games postponed or suspended due to inclement weather will be rescheduled and teams will be notified as soon as possible. If you have any questions, please visit recsports.vt.edu/intramurals. You may also email us at imsports@vt.edu, call our office at 540-231-8297, or you may stop in our office in 135 War Memorial Hall. We want to thank you for your interest and participation in our Virginia Tech Intramural Sports Program. We wish you luck, have a great season, and thank you for helping to make our intramural sports program one of the finest in the country. Please also visit any of our sponsors, Domino's Pizza, PK's Bar and Grill, or Fox Ridge Apartment Homes. Thank you and have a great year.